powerless island that used to rule the world.
Well, I noticed, I want to bring something to your attention. As China was rising, I know that Israel and China had a lot of deals and a lot of cooperation, and they're no longer as close, or it appears they're no longer as close as they once were. And now Israel is pivoting because China is pushing a pro-Palestinian view. Israel is pandering more to India now. And what do you say about this situation, especially when we're talking about the blow up of the border tensions? And recently there was a statement by the one of the Israeli, I believe it was the defense minister, said that that they would supply India with anything, any military means at their disposal to defend against anybody. What would you say about that?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Israel has made all kinds of deals with all kinds of different countries. You know, they had nuclear weapons development going with South Africa, apartheid South Africa. They had germ weapon development going, biological warfare development with apartheid South Africa. They're in bed with all the worst dictatorships in Central and South America. So Israel has a predilection for nasty governments, but they'll deal with anybody if it's to their benefit. So yeah, you're right. They used to be more in bed with China, but as you say, they've leaned more towards India. And perhaps the reason for that is that both Israel and Modi's India are committing anti-Muslim genocide. Israel's committing genocide against Palestine, and Modi is committing genocide, and his party is openly committed to killing or expelling all non-Hindus from the entire Indian subcontinent, which would, of course, be by far the biggest genocide in world history if it ever happened, God forbid. So Israel, thanks to its genocidal affinity for Modi, has become very, very close to India. And Israel was involved in creating many false flag attacks, blaming Muslims for terrorism. The Mumbai attacks in 2008, as the great Jewish writer Elias Davidson has shown, were false flags. And although Elias doesn't say so, I think the Israelis, who work very closely with RAW, R-A-W, which is the intelligence agency, were very much involved in all of those false flags, blaming Muslims for various attacks and giving India the reason to be harsh on Pakistan and on their own Muslims. So I think that's the reason that Israel has flipped there. And so now we do see that the U.S., which wants to contain China, is tilting towards this Israel and India axis against the sort of China and Pakistan, Russia and Iran axis. And I think that the latter will probably prevail. I think the era of genocidal settler colonialism is over. Israel's the last holdout, and so it's going down. And the era of Western and American world domination is over. U.S. empire is going down. China is rising, and with China, its allies will be rising, including Iran.